You've been a key player in the growth of this program. What does this qualification mean to you?
Yeah, you know, it means a lot, you know, especially throughout the beginning of the campaign, we came under a lot of pressure, you know, and we just stuck together. We held our composure, and we know that once we stick together and play our game, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to be victorious. And I think it just goes to show that, you know, we're a small island, but we can do big things. We won the first game. Obviously, the second game didn't go according to plan, but, you know, we came out here and, you know, we said we're going to give it a final push. So I think, you know, just the confidence of the girls, if we can stick together as a team and continue pushing, I'm sure we can do big things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Let's go!
The Reggae Girls are basking in the success of qualifying for a second successive FIFA World Cup finals after swatting aside Haiti 4-0 in their Group A clash at the CONCACAF Women's Championship in Mexico on Monday evening. The win enabled the Reggae Girls to place second, or to finish second in the group, and join the USA as automatic qualifiers to the 2023 FIFA World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. They are not done in Mexico, though, because they'll battle Canada in the semi-final of these CONCACAF Women's Championships on Thursday inside the Estadio Universitario. Let's take a look at the table after the final set of results. So this is how it finished. The Americans, perfect in the group stage, as you would have expected. The Jamaicans to form. Surprise for some people, because the Mexicans were the other big team on paper in the group, but they flattered to deceive. They had a horrendous campaign, Mexico, losing all of their games, and the Jamaicans beating the Haitians to finish a comfortable second in the end. Haiti, their World Cup dreams live on, because they move on to the Intercontinental Playoff for one of the places to the World Cup. That's going to be a 10-team playoff. Now, the head coach of the Reggae Girls, Lauren Donaldson, spoke after the game.
It was going to end up 3-1. That's my thinking going in. So obviously, yes, if it's 4-0 to 3-1, then it worked out a little bit better. I thought the game was going to be unfolded the way I thought it was going to be. And we attacked the right areas, and you know, we were more patient in our build up, and you know, the success came. But you know, the girl executed this time. You know, everybody bought into what we're doing, and you know, sometimes when you don't, including myself, you know, it can be disastrous.
That's Lauren Donaldson, the head coach of the Reggae Girls. So it went according to script. We said the aim was to take maximum points against the Mexicans if we could upset there. And if we did that, then the mission would be straightforward. Not simple, but straightforward. Beat Haiti and you'd be in the World Cup, because we figured that they wouldn't get anything against the USA. That's how it turned out. The campaign, from my perspective, went as planned.
I think it went easier than we expected, actually, George. And coach was posed with that question. You know, they had a plan in place. Haiti, of course, has been doing really well in the competition so far. So I didn't think that, you know, Jamaica Reggae Girls would have been able to keep a clean sheet. Despite all my thoughts, you know, it went up in the air, and the Jamaica Reggae Girls came out all guns blazing, and of course they put on a very dominant performance. Trudy Carter, you know, I would have to say she started the momentum for the girls. You know, she created that that good energy that they needed at that point in time from a very early stage in the match when she scored the first goal. Then Khadija Bonnie Shaw, we can't help but talk about her leadership performance as well, because she was very critical in ensuring that the girls had closed it off. So a big, big win for the Jamaica Reggae Girls, and of course they won in style.
Yeah, very, very impressive, and Coach Donaldson admitted that he wasn't bargaining for such an emphatic victory. I have to say that the 4-0 margin of victory wasn't a true reflection of how the game went, because the Haitians were very threatening for long periods in the game. To the Jamaicans' credit, though, they took the chances when they got them, and that's what football is all about. They got chances and they scored their chances. Haiti got a couple and missed, hitting the post twice, but it was a good game. Satara Murray, the new defender who only got her papers through, was a top performer at central defense, played really, really well. And Donaldson, the coach, not only praised her performance on the field, but spoke of her leadership and the kind of prominence that she executed on the field as a team leader, which is commendable as a first-time performer for the Jamaica Reggae Girls. So very, very good result for them, and they worked hard for it, I can say that.
And we can't forget Rebecca Spencer. She was amazing in goal and, criticized very heavily for the USA match, George and Lance. But, she came back and redeemed herself.
Fact is, though, that Lance said that the scoreline may have been a tad flattering because someone who didn't watch the game would have thought that the Haitians were given a real hiding. The first game of the tournament that the Jamaicans played, those who watched it, I did, the 1-0 against Mexico wasn't a fair reflection of the result. That should have been 3-4-0 to the Jamaicans, because they had those that many chances. So you have to cash in when luck is with you, when luck is on your side. And it wasn't just a lucky performance. The Reggae Girlz were commanding in vital areas of the field, especially in defense, as Lance pointed out. And that was the building block on which they built this successful procession to the World Cup, and we have to say procession in the end, given that it was 4-0 so emphatically done. All right, we take a break. When we come back, we'll get some more perspective on what the Reggae Girlz have achieved in the name of women's football. Back with us on the SportsMax Zone. In case you haven't heard, the Reggae Girlz have qualified for the FIFA World Cup finals, a second consecutive time that they've done so. The first football team from this region of any gender to qualify for consecutive World Cups. So when I say the region, I'm talking about the Caribbean. That's what the Reggae Girlz did. They completed that mission in Mexico on Monday evening with a 4-0 win against Haiti. Lauren Donaldson leading them in the dance moves. He's supposed to be doing the bounce that Ding Dong unveiled for the summer. He's not getting it quite right, but he got the football right. And that is all that matters. In the meantime, just before we move on, Trinidad and Tobago, we must tell you, they failed in their bid to qualify in heading into their game against Panama. Had they beaten the Panamanians, they would have finished third in the group and would have gotten a place in the Intercontinental Playoffs to keep their World Cup qualification hopes alive. But they went down 1-0, arguably their best performance of the campaign, of the group, their best, the result that proved that they were more competitive, that they were most competitive in, the game that they were most competitive in, but they still fell short of what was required, finishing bottom of the group. All right, joining us to talk about what the Reggae Girlz have done is the former assistant coach to the Reggae Girlz, Andrew Price. Andrew, of course, conditions Humberland, the Jamaica Premier League outfit. Andrew, good afternoon. Welcome again to SportsMax Zone.
Good afternoon, George, and good afternoon to your viewers.
9 points to play for in the group before a ball was kicked, Andrew, and the math and the smart application suggested that those 6 points that were needed to qualify automatically would have come from Mexico and Haiti, and so it proved for the Reggae Girlz.
Most definitely. I mean, going into the Monterrey for the women's championship, I'm sure the coach earmarked those two particular games. The one against Mexico, which was, I believe, the toughest game, the first one, where we wanted to get something out of that game. And fortuitously for us, we were able to get all 3 points by beating Mexico by 1-0. Now, going into the United States for match, we always knew it was going to be a daunting task. And what we did there, I think we didn't start the game well. What we should have done was we should have tried to see how long we could get the US off the score sheet. But conceding 2 goals in the first 10 minutes just flipped the script immediately, and we were behind the 8 ball from early, and it was about damage limitations for the remainder of the game. Having said that, well, we have been here before. In 2018, when we were in the semifinals, we lost to the US by 6-0, and we had to rebound, prepare for the third place playoff game, and we beat Panama in that game. And it was a similar circumstances, and it must have been deja vu for a lot of the experienced players who went there, plus coach Lauren Donaldson and the rest of the technical staff. They've been there before. So it wasn't difficult for them to get the players to regroup, get themselves ready, rehabilitate, then do a lot of recovery. And I must credit the backroom staff for the recovery that they did after the US match to get them up and ready for that daunting task against Haiti. And they played a marvelous match. They managed the game. They were cohesive throughout. We played with a little bit of luck because the Haitians hit the post a couple of times. But, we stayed in the game, we fought, and I think the young ladies fought valiantly, and they would not be denied. And Now we have a direct route to Australia and New Zealand and still have an opportunity to get to the Olympics come Thursday. So all in all, I think it was mission accomplished.
Yeah, it's not even a direct route, Andrew. They have a place in the World Cup already. If we were in the playoffs, that would have been our route, so we're there. But here's the thing. I wanted to look at the 3 games in totality and talk about the improvement in segments of the team that you would have seen from game 1 through to game 3, where we improved from our Mexico showing across the disappointment of the USA showing to what we did so much better in that Haiti game, having the benefit of the previous 2 games in the legs.
What I think happened in the first game, we proved that we were good defensively because, to be quite honest, despite the fact that Mexico had the lion's share of possession, they didn't really break us down and threaten us too much in that game. And I think defensively we had a very good shape. Now, in the third game, we didn't play well defensively, especially down the left side where the US attacked a lot and they got 2 goals very early. I think in the third game, we made some adjustment. We brought in Satara Murray, who was just cleared on the very day of the game by FIFA, which allowed her to play the game. And with Denisha Blackwood out because of accumulation of cards, we moved Turney Wilshire to left back and put the younger Swaby Chantel at right back and put Satara with Alison Swaby. So we had to shuffle the team. And that is where the team has to be commended. To shuffle your backline, which is your most important defensive line of your team, shows a lot of gusto from the coach and also from the players to adjust. Turney Wilshire is a natural right back. So for her to make that big shift and go to left back, and I think she had a flawless game against the Haitians. I think, the defensive unit played very well.
Yeah.
But the person I believe who stood out for me the most throughout the tournament was Drew Spence. She brought a level of composure and calmness to the central midfield. You could see her directing traffic, slowing down the game, picking up. Whenever she got the ball, she told the players to cool down, take it easy, just let us make passes. She was a energy in the middle of the park, and she played extremely well, and I think she led from the front.
Yeah. The fact is, though, that every team needs a star to lead it. And the thing I'd like to say about a girl you know very well, Bunny Shaw, was that there was certainty in her finishing. Those 2 goals, she could have done the way of the Haitians and missed not by much or hit the post. But the certainty of finding the net, that confidence transmitted, I felt, through the team. And on the offensive front, we were efficient. We took the chances, the Jamaicans did. And the Haitians are waking up today still wondering how they didn't score because the composure and the confidence that they needed wasn't with them in the crucial moments.
Definitely. I think a lot of the time, the occasion, I think the occasion got the better of the Haitian team. They have never been here before. And I think they still had in the back of their brain that we eliminated them in 2018 when we had that first round qualification where all they needed to do again was to tie the game and they would have gone on to further complete the qualification. But we came back from 2 goals down in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, in a very hostile environment, and we were able to tie the game 2-2. Again, Bunny Shaw scoring those crucial goals. So, the woman, Shaw led from front. She took the penalty, which I would have hoped she would have taken in the first game. She had no choice because Havana wasn't on the field at the time, so she had to take the penalty. And then the composure and the guile to score the first goal, she definitely led from the front. And who can forget that wonderful assist where she played through the Carter to have the go-ahead goal. And I think the captain led from front yesterday and showed why she's a world-class striker.
And, Coach, now that we are into the World Cup, I think it's necessary that, we don't disregard the work that, the previous administration would have done. And, of course, we congratulate the current coach, Lon Donaldson, for getting the ladies over the line. What say you?
Definitely. Everybody has their role to play. When you look at this team, it's a better squad than we had in 2018. And I told people that was what was going to carry us across the line. The fact that we had more professionals on the team, playing professionally all over the world. They were more experienced. They were 2 years on, 2 years with more experience. They've been there before, been to the World Cup. And I think that experience carried us over the line. And that's why we got the better of the Haitian team. But let us not fool ourselves. This is a quality bunch of players. They were well recruited and a good bunch of players that qualified for the World Cup.
And now that, of course, the Jamaica Reggae Girlz are into the World Cup, the work has just got started. We play Canada, I believe, on Thursday. How do you feel, the Reggae Girlz will fare as they face some stronger opponents?
Well, definitely, I believe the girls will be up for it. They are buoyed by the success that they have, that they have qualified. But they also have in the back of their minds the opportunity that winning this game would get them automatically to the Olympic Games. So definitely, I'm sure Jamaica's never qualified for an Olympic Games, and this gives them a very good opportunity. Because the Canadian team's a team that they know very well. They have played them over the years, and it's the same crop of players playing against each other. I mean, I remember Khadija Buchanan, her mother, at the last World Cup, she said even though her daughter plays for Canada, she's cheering for Jamaica. So we know a lot of the players. There are about 6 players of Jamaican parentage that plays for the Canadian team. So we know them very well, and they play professionally in Europe. So it's going to be a very competitive game. But I believe that the girls, buoyed by the victory last night and the qualification, will turn up and play a very competitive game. And it's who wants it more on the day.
Definitely a very professional bunch. Lance?
Yeah, well, first of all, AP, I see you advertising your Jamaica colours there, but I can't help but feel...
I'm happy about it, Lance.
Yeah, but I also see some green and black representing Calabar there as well, as a newly appointed Calabar head coach. But let me ask you a question quickly, because you just mentioned, Andrew, that you think this is a better squad than the squad that went to the 2019 World Cup. No, they were pretty heavily beaten by Italy, Australia and Brazil in the 2019 World Cup. Do you see in their group play, do you see them performing better in this World Cup in Australia and New Zealand than they did the last?
Lance, I'll answer that question. If we get the requisite preparation from the Jamaica Football Federation, we are in the next coming windows. We have camps and have games during those periods of time as we prepare for the World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. We will do well. We won't just go there to compete. We'll go there and be competitive. And I think the aim right now is to actually get out of the first round and get into the playoffs. And I believe we have the players that can do it. They are professional players. They have been honing their trade for a long time overseas, and they have been improving and with every game. Can you imagine? We had a 2-week camp prior to going to Monterrey after not playing any game, any link-ups since the Dominican Republic game here in Jamaica. 2 weeks of preparation, and this is what we have seen today. So I'm saying if we get the requisite preparation and the Federation does what it's supposed to do and prepare the young ladies, get them practice games in the available FIFA windows, then I believe the team will be more equipped to perform better in the upcoming World Cup.
You touched on Satara Murray, Andrew, and her immediate injection into the team. But what of her quality? There was a moment she had a bit of a slip there and almost gave up a goal. But the coach, Lorne Donaldson, was very, very complimentary about her leadership and her debut effort. And first time out for the Jamaica team, looked pretty solid at central defence.
Looked very solid. And can you imagine, Lance, she had this cloud over her for the entire tournament, whether she would play or not. She was training every day, wondering if she'd get the clearance. And on the very day she got the clearance, which was needed, Denisha Blackwood being out because of accumulation card, she slotted in very well with Alison Swaybe. They had a very good combination. And other than that misstep where she slipped and played in the Haitian striker who, fortunately for us, missed the target, I think she had a very solid game. In the aerial battles, I think Jamaica dominated defensively aerially, where we didn't lose any balls in the air, and we were very equipped on the ground. So I think she came in and made a world of difference. And it's good when you have depth and quality in your team, where you can make that adjustment, shift up your defensive unit, and still be able to keep a clean sheet. But I can't say much without saying that our goalkeeper, Becky Spencer, was our MVP for the entire tournament. She was a godsend. She improved with each game. She commanded our box. She was brilliant. And, you know, she really kept us in all the games that we played.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
Yep. Andrew, thank you for your time. I want to say that, like you, we hope that the Reggae Girls get the right preparation to allow them to do their best and to show the world what they really, really are capable of at the World Cup finals in Australia and New Zealand. Thank you again.
Thank you. And I want everybody to tune in on Thursday night at 9 as the Reggae Girls try and get to the Olympics.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's a good message to leave the fans with. All right. We break here on the SportsMax Zone. Back with more after these. The analytics say Manchester United is the most popular football team in the world, above Barcelona and Real Madrid, due to the CR7 effect. The question is, will the fans that have come with the CR7 bandwagon stay when the bandwagon rolls away from Old Trafford, if at all that happens this season? We're still talking football because head coach of the Reggae Girls, Lorne Donaldson, worried about the fitness levels of his team ahead of the CONCACAF Women's Championship in Mexico. Donaldson's worries about team conditioning were perhaps exacerbated by the fact that the girls were drawn in the same group as world champions United States, hosts Mexico, plus Haiti. But despite that worry, the girls did the job, taking 6 points from the 9 available to seal qualification to the 2023 FIFA World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Joining us to talk about how the team was able to meet the physical demands of qualification is the Reggae Girls fitness coach, Jason Henry. Jason, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks.
Good. All right. So Lorne Donaldson expressed the worry that, fitness was a major issue for him. What was the state of the fitness of the entire squad heading into that first game of the qualification tournament against the Mexicans?
Well, I mean, after the break of the last round before this final round, and most of our players went on holiday because of their long European season. A few of them that was still playing, like in the States, and few European countries were still in competition. So, but the majority and the core of our girls were off season or just finished season, so they need rest, to go through their transitional phase to get back into playing. So when we got into camp, yes, we expect, the levels of fitness to not be at a high level of what we expected. So we expect they would come in a little bit unfit, but some of them, to be honest, came in much under par, so our job was cut out. So we had to do what we had to do to get them up to standard, at least for the first game, so we can get a result. One of our big advantage was training at Colorado, where the altitude is really high, even higher than where we are now in Monterey. So that kind of helped to push us and give us that platform. And then we knew once we get a result out of the first game, our fitness will gradually improve right throughout the rest of the first round.
Jason, explain to people, because some people have been arguing that, look, but yeah, they were in camp training. Explain to people the difference between training among yourselves and getting fit that way, as opposed to getting practice games against other opposition.
Well, when coach speak of fitness, I think he was mostly speaking of fit without playing, or fit without the ball, as we would say in Jamaica and maybe the Caribbean. So we had to do, a lot of running, a lot of gym session to get that base. So when those girls get in training or are playing games, then, that base will help them to develop that match sharpness through playing and training hard.
Coach, will you say trainer, will you say that, you currently are pleased with the fitness of the Reggae Girls right now, or you have a lot more work to do as we get ready for the World Cup?
Of course, definitely. One of the things will happen is that most of these girls go back to their club after this competition. So when they come back in, for example, a FIFA window, they will be at a level of fitness that is at way higher than what they came in with, because most of them would have just finished pre-season at the end of August, going into the first or second week of September. So going back to their club will also eliminate some of the fitness worry that we would have as national coaches, because they would have a high standard from their club.
Yeah, as the fitness coach, though, do you wish, sometimes that you had more time with the ladies to put in more hours to ensure that they meet the level that you would expect them to be?
Of course, most fitness coaches would like to have that abundance of time, but right across the board, both male and female, most of the time when you get your national team assembled, you only have maybe 2 weeks maximum. Like out of this competition or maybe a World Cup where you have more time, but generally speaking, you always get like 2 weeks. So the players, they're professional, they know what to do to take care of their body. So, and their club play a very important part in this, because once you are in a professional setting, training week in, week out, day in, day out, then your level of fitness will always be on top.
Yeah, Jason, is something like speed a part of what you can work on with the overall fitness of the team? Because at the international level, there are times when if your pace isn't matching up to your opponents, you can find yourself, in some trouble. There were points last night during the game where there were a couple of Haitians that looked a lot speedier on and off the ball than the Jamaicans did. I know you have players with pace and players with not a lot of pace, but is speed some thing that you can work on as the fitness coach?
Yes, I mean all domains of the health spectrum can be worked on. I mean, we can work on the health aspect and we can work on the skill aspect of it. So speed definitely one of them. But again, if you do not have a set base to develop speed, that can be disastrous for any player. So again, if you're not fit, it best you get, a base before you push the body, because speed is very explosive and you need strong muscles and joints to get explosive.
Yeah, well, when they go to the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, Jason, they would have already been competing in another season in their professional duties. How much interaction do you expect to have with the team between now and then? And how much fitter can the team get compared to where it is at the moment?
Far fitter than where they are now. I mean, our main goal here was to actually qualify for the World Cup. So that was our main goal. And then we push on to Olympics and those stuff. So now we are in the World Cup. Then we just need to just focus on our next game and see what brings. And then after the tournament done, again, some of the girls will have to get a few weeks off, maybe a week or two before we go back into their club preseason. And then after that, they're going to play maybe 9 to 10 months of football. So after that is basically managing, and recovery is a key. What you eat, what you do after games and training is also a part of fitness.
Finally, Jason, you go into that Canada game on Thursday in what frame of mind? Is it a case, well, mission accomplished, World Cup qualification sealed, so we'll just go there and enjoy ourselves? Or is there a focused mission of the girls to seal qualification to the Olympics by winning on Thursday?
Well, I can firstly say the pressure is off. So, playing with a little bit more freedom can be very helpful for us. Because as you know, if last night's result didn't went our way, it will be a different conversation this morning. So yes, everybody is free now, a little relaxed, but yes, the job hasn't finished as yet. And I think the Olympic qualification might be in September, not this one. I think the top 4 team will go into an Olympic playoff in September. That was an update I got last night.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure about showing it out there just to see if that's.
Yeah, that's a later update than we have. So I'm happy you put that on the table.
Yeah.
Good. So you're saying free minds going into that Canada game with the intent to win?
Of course, definitely. We haven't beaten Canada or US, not that I ever remember. So this is a perfect chance. There is no pressure. Just go out there, enjoy, and just play to the best of our ability.
All right, Jason, we wish you and the ladies all the best and the rest of the coaching staff. Fantastic job accomplished in Mexico, and it is not done yet, but the important part of the mission, the most important part, World Cup qualification, is sealed, and I want to congratulate you and your colleagues for that.
Thank you very much.
All right, Jason, all the best to you. Just talking to the Reggae Girlz fitness coach there. We take a break here on the SportsMax Zone. Cricket after these.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay informed.